I will go ahead and get us started talking about branding with Canva. Okay, so if you've got any kind of small business going, this is a handy tool for you to have. I don't know how many of you might have used it in the past. I use it quite a bit for a variety of purposes, and we'll walk through some demos today, or some maybe get some ideas from all of you about projects you might want to get started on, whether that's designing a logo, a business card, maybe social media posts, anything like that. So I do want to point out that my colleague Clark is here. If any of you do run into any problems with Zoom, anything that impedes you from enjoying the class, just let us know, and Clark will be sure to help out with that. Okay, so we're going to talk today about doing things like what I'm hoping that you can come out of this with, essentially, is designing a logo, creating a business card and letterhead if you want to do that, and also crafting social media posts to promote your business. But I want to stop there and just find out a little bit more about what people are working on, why you're branding, what you'd like to learn in this class specifically that might be of help to you. Anybody want to share?
I'll share.
Sure.
So I don't have a business, and I never want to have another business. I've had a number of them.
Okay.
But and I've always had a business card, which is basically a personal card, even though it's called a business card. And I'm in the process of changing my email address. And so I didn't want to order, 500 cards or anything like that. I just want to be able to make a card that will work. Also, which is going to be a personal card. Also, Canva has been advertising on television. I think it's on TV or wherever. They've been advertising, and it looked interesting to me. So that's why. And I'm, I've always often been in the arts and crafts, in the arts business. So I was interested in learning more about it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and you're right. They're advertising quite a bit now.
Yeah. All of a sudden. Yeah. Is it new? Is Canva new, or is it just that they got the money to advertise?
I think it's that they've got the money to advertise. They've been around for about 10 years, maybe even a little longer than that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But I didn't learn about them until about 2 years ago, believe it or not. So, yeah.
That's why they're advertising.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just found out about it when I took the class with Kevin about Facebook. And so then I went in and I thought, oh, gee, that's really interesting. And I have a friend who's encouraging me to do a small, very small business. And I thought, well, it couldn't hurt to learn more about it. Right?
Okay. All right. Okay. Terrific. Anybody else? All right. Well, let's talk. Yeah. Go ahead, Mary.
I'm trying to learn Canva, and I don't know how to insert an image yet. I know it's very simple, but
okay. I'll walk you through that. Yeah.
It's
the labeling on their taskbar, whatever you want to call it, is not all that intuitive, Mary. So I'll show you how that works. Okay. All right. So what is Canva in the first place? It is a do-it-yourself graphic design platform. As I mentioned, it's been around for about 11 or 12 years, 10 or 11 years. I think it launched in Australia, but it has just grown like gangbusters over the last, I'd say, 3 to 4 years. And you're seeing them advertise quite a bit right now. in all kinds of locations, both online and also on television. It includes all kinds of templates and various graphic elements, and that can include everything from stock photos that you can use to stock clip art, anything like that. They have basic designs for logos, for business cards, for presentations, anything like that. And it is available to use for free. It's a website, essentially. They do have a mobile app as well that you can download for free and that will work on both the Apple devices like the iPhone or iPad, as well as any Android device. And there are some features that require a paid subscription. If you're doing a personal business, any kind of business that you're working on, it might be worth going from a personal account, which you can sign up for free, to a paid subscription. It's basically Canva Pro. It's $120 a year. In the scheme of things, that's a pretty small investment to be able to use everything that Canva has to offer, including an entire branding program. So you can get your feet wet if you want by just using the website for free for a while, just to see what it can do, and then make a determination whether it's worth your while to upgrade. And I have talked to people who are in the GetSetUp community who have done that. They've gone ahead and gone to a paid subscription.
Scott, do they give you, is the free time limited? Like they say free for 30 days and then you have to pay, or is it free the whole time and you can move up to another level?
So it is free. It's a little bit of a complicated business model. Well, let me see if I can explain this real clearly. There's a free version. And you have a lot of free elements that you can use in all of your graphic design on there. There are also some that are behind a paywall that if you go to a pro account, you can use for free, but you can also just go ahead and buy them as one-offs. And if you find something that you really like, you can buy it for like $1, maybe $2, and that could even include video clips of some sort.
Wow, that's interesting.
And audio for that matter. So you have those options there as well. On the Canva Pro version, they do give you a 30-day free trial. And you can also pay by the month, which in the scheme of things is not, if you know you're going to be using it for the long term, I don't know that a monthly will be the most economical way to go, because I think they charge like $13 a month, but that $120 a year, translates to, I think, roughly around $10 a month. So
exactly $10 a month.
yeah, exactly. So they've all got these at that like $9.99 price point, and $119.99. Yeah, but anyway, round that up and that's what you get. So yeah, okay. Whoops. What you can make, this is just a list here, much more than this. Logos, business cards, letterhead. If you do have a lot of customers that you want to send out holiday greetings to, maybe, or just thank you notes to, anything like that, you can do that. You can design cards. Your business has a brick and mortar location and you want to invite people in for a grand opening or a reception, you can create invitations for that. Brochures, flyers, and signage, all that marketing material. Also, business is promoted on social media now. It's pretty hard to avoid that. And this has a bunch of different social media templates designed for you. And they are geared specifically toward specific social media platforms. So you can get one that's going to fit perfectly on Facebook or on Instagram or on Twitter or whatever other options are out there for social media. You can also create a website on here. Now, I have used other website development platforms. I've never really tried to develop a website here, but this would make it pretty easy for you to do that. And if you want to develop some marketing swag of some sort, maybe you want to give out coffee mugs with your logo on it, or t-shirts, or notepads, anything like that, you can do that design here as well. So rather than, yeah, go ahead.
Just going back to that, do they also do printing? Like, for example, if you do marketing swag, they do the printing also? Okay.
They do.
And brochures as well?
Yeah. But you do not have to use them if you don't want. You can download whatever you create and then use another service. So I will tell you, Canva's prices are pretty reasonable.
Better than Vistaprint?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't looked at Vistaprint for a while, but you know, when I first sort of semi-retired about 3 years ago, I went to Vistaprint to get my business cards done, and I know I could have done that at a lower cost if I had done it through Canva, but I didn't know Canva existed at that point. So yeah. Okay. So this is Canva, canva.com. And it is, again, as I said, also available as a mobile app if you want to go that route. Here you'll see it looks a little overwhelming when you open it up because they've got everything under the sun here that you can do. But you can go up here to look at the different templates they have under different categories. Whoops. So you'll see they've got social media, they've got personal business. They also have marketing. So here's where you can develop brochures, proposals, anything like that. So just to give you an example, this is a project that I started just to sort of test, just to sort of get my something to just show you really quickly, I guess, bottom line. This is just a logo, an example of creating a logo. That the original design for this logo was right here. I was able to take this and change the color of the background, and I can do that again. When I open this up, you'll notice I can go up here. And if I want to change that to blue, I can do that. If these default colors are not quite the shade I want, I can open up this little rainbow box here, and I can just sort of scoot my cursor around to find the shade that I want. When you do that, if you're going to do a logo like this, it's a good idea to copy this and remember it. Maybe cut and paste it and just put it on a Word document or somewhere, because this is the number of that particular color or color shade. And you're going to want to be consistent across all of your marketing material. Now, sometimes people may vary a little bit, but I would not try to stray too far from about 2 or 3 different approaches to your marketing, to your logo, essentially. But that's just an example of what you can do. I just wanted to show you one little project that I was just playing around with as a demo. But if, say, you want to, well, does anybody have anything in particular? Well, since Judith had raised business cards, let's start with that first. Okay, here you go. You have a bunch of templates here. Then when you see this crown, that means that it is part of the Pro version.
Where was the crown? Oh, I see.
It was down in the corner right there where it says Pro. If you see that little
I
graph.
see. Okay.
Yeah. Now here's one that has a price tag attached to it. And what will come up when you try to download this, it will probably tell you that, let's say I take this and I hit print. It will probably, well, maybe not. Maybe that won't charge me, but a lot of times what will pop up is just something that will tell you you can remove the watermark for just $1 or so.
Do they all have watermarks if you don't remove them?
No, just those that have that.
The pay.
Yeah. So here, oh, okay, here's the watermark right there. So if you hit remove watermark, you can pay for that for $1. But there are plenty of options here. Let's say you are just doing a, maybe you have a bakery, a small baking service that you're doing. So you start out like that. You've got a home bakery here. You can click on this text and you can type in just by going over this, type in your mailing address and your web address and call it sweet cake, or maybe call it Primrose Treats. I don't know how I came up with Primrose, but all right. And I get rid of that because I'm going to try to do something for free. So I've got this as the backdrop, but I'm going to go up here and click on elements. When I do that, I get all kinds of different options here. And what I'm going to try to do is just look for a graphic element that I think might look good here. So maybe I'll type in pastry and see what comes up. So I've got this croissant here. So what if I use that as my little graphic design? I could go with that. Here's one I like even better. Maybe I'll drop that in. Okay. Now you'll notice here, I've got that placed here. If I want to get rid of this area in the back, this just little swatch here, I can get rid of that. Don't have to keep that. All of the colors are all customizable. You do not have to stick with the color scheme or anything. So maybe I want to take these and I want to look here at what the color is here. All right. So I click on that. There is these are all the document colors, and they're just in a this is a brown essentially. I want to change that to match. So when I click on my little color box here, it's going to bring me over to, or I can just scroll over to all the colors that are in this design already and change it. And now it matches. If I click on the image, I can shrink it a little bit. And I, of course, want to change my title here of my business. I'm going to have it stacked, the text stacked like that. Move that around a little bit. And I've got myself a business card. Now, if you don't like this particular color, again, you can just go and try maybe a plain old white like that. And you can always change the font if you don't like that.
That was my question.
Yeah, so maybe if you look up here, there's your font. You could go with, say, something like that. Now, some of these, again, they're going to be behind a paywall. You need to have a pro account to do that, but you've got plenty here that you can choose from to.
Try Bukhari script. Whoops.
There you go.
Yeah, not right. I like the first font best.
The original that we had.
Yeah, Tan Meringue.
Okay,
It
so
was
let's
Tan
say that you've tested these out and you don't like any of them and you want to go back to square one. Up here is a little backward arrow. This will just take you back to where you started. Yeah. So that's all you do for a business card. And let's say that I know Mary was interested in uploading your own image. So let's say that you want to, oh, I'm just trying to think of a business product here.
There's a personal card also on that first list that you went to,
right.
the drop-down list. Unless Mary, do you want a business card or a personal card?
I think Mary was thinking about more
Business.
of a how to upload images on here. But let's say you go to something that you want to market. So I'm going to go to, let's say, a brochure. All right. So I've got some templates here.
Wow.
Sorry about that. I don't know how I did that, but let me shrink that real quickly. I'm hitting all kinds of wrong buttons today.
What did you hit that was wrong?
I expanded my chat window here. So, yeah, but anyway, let's say I want to go here and I've decided that I want to have a little tour guide business. But I just want to show people around my town. So I live in the Washington, D.C. area, for example. I'm going to go here and I'm going to want to use this template, but I'm going to want to redesign it. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is get rid of this photo because that's not Washington, D.C. And I'm going to take one of my own photos. So one thing I could do is go in here to uploads. Right here is every photo that I have uploaded to my account. And I should say, to start an account, all you need to do is go in and set it up with a username and password. If you're comfortable with it, you can just do that. Just join through Facebook or some other social media account, and then you're good to go. Anything you design will stay here on the site until you delete it, because you have this account. So you can start working on something and walk away from it and come back to it later. So you're not stuck there.
Scott,
and all of this is free. Beg your pardon?
I have a question. Do you have to, obviously this is not all your photos because you probably have many thousands of them. Do you have to upload the photos into this to use it? Or can you just go to your photos and choose a photo and then upload that one photo?
That's a great question, because I thought you did have to upload. And let's say I take a photo here. All right, let me go back here to where I was. Okay, there we go. All right. So I want to throw I don't have a Washington, D.C. thing handy, so maybe I'll redo the theme of this, but I'm going to drop this in here. Now, all I did was drag and drop it over there, and it's now in here, but it is also uploaded here.
Ah, okay.
So that's
Oh,
really
great.
all there is to it. And that's something I didn't realize. I thought you had to go in here and go to upload media and bring it in that way, but you do not.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Now, let's say I want to try something that's going to fit a little better. So I'm going to drop that in. All right. So what I do then is just drag and drop it over into this little slot here. And let's say I'm going to call this a nature bus tour. And call this Redwood Forest. And then I can just do this with the other photos too.
That's the Redwood Forest in DC.
No, I decided to change it
That's
because
a
I don't
joke.
have any DC photos. Yeah. So
I was going to
sadly,
suggest that,
sadly, we don't have trees like that here. Yeah.
I was going to suggest a bicycle tour because you have a beautiful, beautiful bicycle photo.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah. So let's say we do call this a bike tour instead. I can then say, go in here, maybe get rid of that image. I just click on it and hit delete. And then I can scroll down here and look for that bicycle photo that I had, which is right there. And I reduce that in size and I bring it over here. I probably want to tweak that a little more, but I've now got that dropped in there. And I can take one more photo here from my collection. I'm going to go ahead and clear that space. And maybe I'll put some wildlife in here. So how about if I put this little bird? And once I do that, I should be able to move it around within the frame. I just double click it. And there you go.
Can you, the bicycle is in a circle, which I know there was a circle there. Can you make that into a square rather than a circle or a
You could.
rectangle?
So here's what you would do there. I'm going to eliminate this altogether. So I'll just keep clicking until I can eliminate that. And then what I would want to do is go over here to frame. No, that's not right. Let me go back to elements. Okay, I go over to elements and I'm going to go down to frames. So I've got a few options here. Actually, many options here. And let's say I want something that's kind of square. I can go here and drop that in, shrink it in size. This is my new frame. I've got a variety of shapes of frames like that. And then I can go back to my uploads, find my media, and as soon as I find my bike, I'll drop it in there.
So you couldn't do that while the bike was there. You had to, had to delete the bike and basically start.
Right. Yeah.
That's a fault of it.
Yeah. And the one thing that's a little bit of a drag in here is that once it's in that frame, you can move it around a little bit, but it's hard to then change the dimensions of the frame. So you might want to go with something different. But you can experiment around with this. If you're creating a brochure, you're going to be using this dozens and dozens and dozens of times. So it's worth a little time spent in there. And there you've got the beginnings of your brochure. And you can do the same thing here and here, all of this text is all customizable. Let's say you're going to do this for $50 instead of 40, and children are 30. We'll leave it at that, but you can change that very easily. And then you've got yourself a two-sided brochure, or a multi-fold brochure.
How do you change the text? There's
Just double click on it, and
if
then
you-
you just scroll over it and you can change it.
if you go down to page 2,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah. So why choosing out the text on the right? Why choosing our tour? Not the headline text, but all of that text below it.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
You could just double click on that and change it to whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah. And that includes this little website or URL down here. You could change that to whatever website you're using for your business, and you're all set. Now, when you go to print this, you can hit print trifolds, and you are going to want this to be double-sided because it's going to basically print one sheet that can be folded into a sort of a trifold type format. You can select the finish that you want. A gloss finish is a little more expensive, but if you stick with matte, you're fine.
What was the
You're not
price
going to need,
difference?
beg your pardon?
What was the price difference between that and
Like $5. Yeah. And then you click, if you don't need envelopes, you can just get rid of those. And then you've got 50 copies for $32. If you up it to 100 copies, it's $48, which is still not too bad. And if you need 150 copies, you're still under $70.
So if you wanted to print out one copy so that you can bring it to a local printer, let's say, or whatever, or print it yourself, do they charge for that printing? Or is it you get a chance to, you get one copy?
Well, what you could do is either print that one copy for $5.30, or you can simply take this, and I think you should be able to download it. Let me get out of printing and just go back.
I have another question in that.
Mhm.
If you're doing business cards and you want to print them yourself, which is the case that I'm going to do because I don't need that many. Can you get it in a format where there are, let's say, 12 on a sheet? Will they give it to you that way and you can print that out? Or
Well, I think for something like that, if you want to do that, it's probably easier to just print it yourself by downloading it. If you go to share here,
okay,
and you go to download, you will download this right to your desktop or laptop computer.
as a
You
PDF.
might want to print it as PDF print, and then just hit download, and you have just downloaded that for free. And if you've got the right kind of card stock, which you can buy business card stock, I would think, at any local Staples or Office Depot or any stores like that, and then just hit print, just download that and then print it out to your printer, and you haven't paid a cent.
So the path for that is, after you've done the design, you go to share.
Yeah.
Which is, Yeah, it's
Share.
not intuitive. So to
Yeah,
print,
yeah, you go to share and download. And yeah.
can you click on download again?
Sure. Just go right there and it brings up, you've got several different versions,
Ah, okay.
or several different formats for printing that.
So download will bring this drop down menu.
Right. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did a question here about if you bought a personal account. So the personal account, it depends. There's really not necessarily personal account and business account. There is Canva Pro, which you can try again for 30 days for free, and it will provide you with a branding kit and content planner, plus storage on here. 100 gigabytes is really pretty good for a single design. And from there, you can really get a lot of guidance on how to brand yourself. So that might really, that in and of itself might be worth the pro account. You can also use some of these magic resize. That might give you a little bit more flexibility with your photos and any other images that you upload, and those frames. And you've got access without cost to all of the photos, the stock photos and videos and see here where it says photos. That is where you can get all kinds of stock photography here. And backgrounds, if I wanted a background of some sort for this business card, I wanted to kind of fancy it up a little bit, I could say, type in bakery and see what comes up. All right, let's say cookies. Nothing like that. So that's just for backgrounds. So I could go with something like this instead, which doesn't really work. Maybe something like that. And this one has a watermark, so I would have to pay $1 to use that background, but it would just give you a little slicker look for your image if you want, or for your business card. Okay. And if you are interested in doing any kind of, well, here you see you've got flyers, you've got Instagram posts and so forth. So let's say that you are having a special deal of some sort. I would go to your templates. And let's say I want, okay. Let's say I want to go in here and go, well, it doesn't have it. So I think I have to go here and just use social media. They don't have anything specifically in marketing, but I'm going to create an Instagram post because I am going to promote something on Instagram. So I've got these templates here, but I don't have to use those. Maybe I'm just going to design something completely from scratch. So I've got a few options here that are just templates that I can drop in here, but I can also go into uploads. And I mentioned nature tours. So let's say that I want to use one of these photos in here. And I'm going to drop that in.
Scott,
And yeah,
question. Can you crop the photo in position? So let's say you want fewer of those rocks. Can you, you can.
yeah, I can double click on it and I can move it around within here. So
I don't mean moving the photo. I mean literally cropping the photo. So let's say you want to crop off some of the bottom rocks. Can you do that? I think you can by moving that.
Yeah, you can crop it and it will allow you to crop it that way. So yeah, except it's not giving me a lot of control there. I think it kind of does the same thing if you just move it around within the frame, and then it will stay within here.
So you can't move that bottom line up.
I could enlarge the photo within here, and that would get rid of the rocks. Like that. So I can enlarge, I can resize it within that frame. And then let's say I'm going to do a tour here. So I can hit text and I'm going to add a header in here. And I would probably already have an Instagram account for my business. And then I just say, join my waterfall tour, and hit for whatever color of I want the lettering to be. And then I can go up here and come up with a different font. Maybe I'm going to go with that, or that's kind of boring. Why don't we go with that? Okay. And then I can add some more text down here to give the date. But once I'm done with that, I just go to share. And here it allows me right away to share to Instagram business. So I just click that and I connect via Facebook, but Facebook owns Instagram. So and I've got a few other options here. I could just download this directly to my computer and then open up my Instagram account and upload it directly there if I want to do that. And that's just creating a social media post of some sort to promote something you're doing or any kind of promotion you want to create.
I saw that they had an option which was copy link. Is that how you would save it? Or is there another way to save it?
I think if you go there to share, you hit view only link, I can send this to somebody and they could see this on their own computer. So you can collaborate with other people if you want to do that. This is a view only link. But if I wanted to share this with somebody, I could go up here and type in their email address or their name, or if I've got a team designated, and I can, let's say I'm going to share this with my email address. I can invite myself to the team and then send it, and they can do their own tweaks to this if they want, and we can just collaborate virtually. So if you have a business partner or somebody like that, or you just want a friend to offer some suggestions and make some changes in here, you could do that.
And how could you save it so that you know that this is where you're going to go to the next time, like to work on it more or whatever reason?
It will automatically stay here. So if I go to home, all of my recent designs are right here. So I would need to go in and deliberately delete one of these, which you can do by, say, going up here to these 3 dots, click on those, and then you can move it to trash. Yeah. Otherwise, everything you design here, this is your own personal studio, essentially, for you to create. You can also go in here and get tutorials on designing, on branding. Here, if you click here, they've got all kinds of articles about ways to brand yourself. And with that premium account or the pro account, you'll get a branding kit. And that will just kind of set up everything for you so you can create that consistency across all of your different promotions and your business card, your brochures, everything like that. So that's a great way to get, if you don't want to go that route or you just want to get started, what I would tell you again is to try to be as consistent as possible with colors and, of course, font for your logo. And your logo, you're going to want to have appearing on everything, just about everything you put out. Of course, you're going to want it on your brochures. So you want to add that to it. So what you might want to do is, once you create your logo, maybe create an image out of it so that you can slap it on some other designs.
Scott, you said they had a website design you can do. Do they have a hosting program where they help you select a domain and do all that kind of stuff, or not?
I have not tried that, but let's investigate that. Okay, so let's say we take this one and we have all these pages. So I've got this, and now I want to create this. So I go to website and look at the different types. I want to make this a scrolling website so it's easy to use on a mobile device. And it works like this. And I'm not sure what happens after that, whether you have to, whoops. But this is the presentation. So I've got that set up. Now, if I want to go ahead and download this, I think I have to go to more, and I have to somehow find in here where I can use this design. And I think if I scroll down here, it should allow me to make a mock-up of this with smart mock-ups. But I'm not finding a whole lot else here that I recognize as a well, there's that's HubSpot. No, that's not going to work. So I'm not sure they do have that option for you if you purchase premium. Yeah.
What option were you looking for?
A way to do everything all in this one spot. Meaning that what I would do here is create the website and then get my domain name for the website, register that domain name and actually have it hosted on here. And I don't think they have a hosting function on this. Now, that is something to explore with Canva Pro. And I may look into that after we sign off today and include that in the class notes. There may be some information on that, but at least for the free version, I don't believe they offer that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Other questions? No.